In this video, I'm going to show you the easiest way you can lose body fat and how you can keep off the weight this time. So this video is for people who have failed on diets before and got no results. You feel you put a lot of effort in with your training and nutrition, however, the scales aren't going down, or you don't feel like your body represents the effort you're putting in. And this is for people who want to lose weight without being miserable and sacrificing everything in order just to lose a few kilograms. So if you're watching this video now, you're probably a little bit stuck because you can't lose weight. And this is because you lack knowledge, consistency, motivation, or all of the above. However, the good news is in this video, I'm going to fix that all for you if you stick around till the end. So first of all, we need to go through the basics. Losing weight comes down to a calorie balance, and more specifically, a calorie deficit. So your calories in versus your calories out is your calorie balance. And if you consume more calories than you're burning, this is known as a calorie surplus, which means you're going to gain weight. And if you're consuming less calories than you're burning, then you're in a calorie deficit, and this is how we lose weight. And if you consume exactly the same as you're burning, this is known as calorie maintenance, and this means you stay at the exact same weight as you are. Next up is your macros. This isn't essential for losing weight, however, it makes losing fat a lot easier and gets you better results. So your protein is for retaining your muscle mass and your growth and recovery if you want to build new muscle tissue. Your carbs, often referred to as the enemy for weight loss, however, simply not true. The reason people get confused by this is because when you consume carbs, it means you hold on to some water weight. This water weight obviously means you're heavier, and this can cause the scales to go up even though you are in a calorie deficit. This means people panic because the scales aren't going down. They think they're not losing weight. However, if you weighed yourself every single day and took a weekly average when still consuming carbs, you'll lose the weight as long as you're in a calorie deficit. And fats, people assume that if you eat fat, that just goes on to your body as fat. Really not the case, but these are essential for your hormone balance and will make this process a lot easier. So don't cut these out, don't be scared of them. Next up is your sleep. Sleep is essential in this process in making it easier for you. A lack of sleep can cause bad recovery, means your hormones are out of balance, which can mean you get more cravings, it's harder to satisfy your hunger. And obviously you can see why this is a problem if we're in a calorie deficit, because this could lead to us binging loads of foods and ruining our deficit. And finally, cardio. Cardio is important in this phase if you want to get better results and make this easier. However, it's not essential. So the first method is the diet method. This just means you need to control your calories and your macros in order to lose weight. This means you need to be aware of your diet and the numbers, meaning your calories, your protein goals, in order to put yourself in a deficit and lose weight. So this is going to need some sort of level of awareness and tracking, and you need to know your numbers. So this means you need to know your calorie goal, you need to know your protein goal, and you need to be tracking these so you know that you are actually hitting these and not just guessing. However, I'm aware people hate tracking, or they feel like it can lead to some sort of disorder or obsession. So doing this for 1 or 2 weeks and building a solid routine off the back of this is going to be the best and the easiest way for most people in order to lose weight consistently long term. This method, you need to be doing it for long enough in order to see the results. You aren't going to lose body fat really, really quickly unless you're in a massive deficit, and you can't be in a massive deficit by just a diet alone. So this is a long-term play. It's the easiest method and the least effort because it only requires you to eat less food. So essentially, you're actually doing less than you were before. The next method is the cardio method. And this is the hardest out of the three, but it's still possible. And this is essentially just doing as much cardio as you can, so you're burning more calories than you're consuming. This doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to eat 2,000 calories, so I need to do 2,000 calories of cardio, because your body already burns calories every single day just by you living. So this means you need to be tracking how much cardio you're doing. There's a little bit of trial and error because you can keep increasing your cardio until you're actually losing weight. However, you don't ever have an exact number to hold on to because stuff like your Whoop, your Apple Watches, these smartwatches, they're not so accurate at tracking. So one day you could be burning 1,000 calories, 2,000 calories, and this gap can be out by 10 to 20%, which makes it hard for you to know if you're doing it properly. And it's hard for you to gauge how much you need to be doing in order to lose weight. So obviously this is very time consuming because you're going to have to probably do hours and hours of cardio, and it's not very sustainable because eventually you'll burn yourself out, you'll be tired, and you won't be able to stick to it long enough to see some real progress. So that leads us on to our last method, which I call the hybrid method. And this is just a combination of the two. This just means having awareness of your diet so you're not eating too much, you're eating the right things in order to be in a calorie deficit, plus using cardio so you don't have to drop your calories really, really low in order to lose weight, because there gets to a point where your body makes new adaptations at your newer weight, and it makes it hard to stick to the calories because there's not a lot of food. So we supplement this with some cardio so you can still eat more food and still make progress. And that's why this, for me, is the best method and the easiest method. So for this, you'll need to be tracking calories and you'll need to be tracking your cardio you do. So let's say you eat in a 200 calorie deficit. However, training days, you've got a busy day ahead, you need the extra calories. You can therefore do 200 to 300 calories of cardio. This will bring your overall calorie deficit down, and therefore you're still in a deficit and losing weight even though you've eaten more food. And this makes it easier to fit into your schedule because the days you're busy, you can focus on food first and be in that deficit. And on days you've got more time, you might want to enjoy some extra food, go out for meals, have some drinks, whatever. And this means you can do cardio to supplement that. And this means it doesn't need to be too time consuming, doesn't need to sacrifice the fun things in your life, and it will fit into your schedule and it will make it easier to make progress long term. So the results you can expect. So here I've just put some numbers together of what you can expect, and therefore you can then work back off your goal. So for easy numbers, I've worked off 1 kilogram. So to lose 1 kilogram of body fat, you need to be in a deficit of 7,700 calories. Obviously, we're not going to do this all in one day, but I broke it down into more manageable numbers. So if you're in a deficit of 350 calories every single day for 22 days, you'll lose a kilogram of body fat. And this is quite easy by just diet alone. And then let's say we do that, we're staying strong and consistent with that. However, we want to speed up the process a little bit. So we might add 150 calories of cardio daily. This can be increase your steps, bike, playing sport, whatever you fancy. This then puts us in a 500 calorie deficit. It will then only take us 16 days to lose that 1 kilogram of body fat. And then for people who might want to up the ante a little bit because they've got a deadline for summer or whatever, then 1,000 calorie deficit every single day will take 8 days to lose a kilogram of body fat. So therefore you can work out your numbers from there. So let's say you wanted to lose 10 kg in 80 days. You need to be in a calorie deficit of 1,000 in order to achieve that goal. So you see how knowing your numbers and being able to work back from your goal is going to make this nice and easy to break down, and therefore actually make you have the knowledge, the consistency, and the motivation to do that to reach your results. And therefore you're going to be unstuck. So you have 3 options right now. So you've got the knowledge, you know what you need to do, so you can go away and do it yourself. The other option is, there's in the link in the description, there's a free fat loss package, which includes a calorie calculator to work out your numbers, a workout plan, a MyFitnessPal guide, which will help you understand MyFitnessPal and track your calories accurately, and this will give you all the stuff you need to lose fat. However, for some people, just having the tools isn't enough. So I offer one-to-one coaching, which all the details will be in the link in the description. So if you need training plans done for you, nutrition plans done for you, accountability support throughout this process in order to get to your end goal, because you've tried all this stuff before, it doesn't work, and you're stuck, you're in a real bad place, then this is probably for you. It's the best way you're going to get the results. It's the quickest way you're going to get results, and it's guaranteed. So if you've enjoyed this video and you've made it this far, then please hit subscribe, because I'll be putting up videos every Wednesday. And if you drop this video a like, that will really help the cause, because I'm trying to help as many people as possible.